I'm your host, Rob Carbone. This is BD4.
Here's Darren, some shake and bake, hits a three. Stands alive, and the crowd is Darren. Oh, hang on to the roof. Goodbye. Anthony for three. Bang! That one goes down. Gotta put four fingers up when Torres comes to the plate. The wall. See ya. See ya. Here's the cover. Got it. Yankees win.
All right, episode 184 of the podcast tonight. I am your host, Rob Carbone. Hope everybody is doing well. It is don't even know what day it is right now. I've been so busy. It is a Monday night, question mark. No, is it Tuesday? No, it's Tuesday night. I'm sorry. It is Tuesday night as I speak, November 24th. Gosh, I'm all over the place. I hope everybody's doing well. Yes, I am your host, Rob Carbone, and you are listening to BD4. BD4 sponsored by Anchor. BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. It's been kind of a quiet last couple of nights for the Knicks. One thing maybe happened with the hiring of a certain assistant coach who we're going to talk about in a second, and I guess we'll also go over a couple of rumors. But Thanksgiving is coming up. That's good. There was a DraftKings a bonus thing, an odds boost, I think, of plus 100 to for any team, the Steelers or Ravens, to score a touchdown. So that's an easy fucking bet. I think the max you could have put down was 25, so why not? So you put down 25, you win 25, and if any team scores a touchdown, which easy win. So I did that. There's probably a couple things. It's going to be a good game. Steelers Ravens is always fun, but Steelers are what? 6-0? No, they're fucking more than that. 10-0. Sorry, they're 10-0, right? And so they're looking for their 11th win. Fuck. They've been dominant, man. So that's going to be fun. The NBA is, again, the free agency is kind of dwindling down. There's no big names left. The only rumors you're hearing right now are trade rumors, and that always goes on, but who knows what's to come of it. And so with the Knicks, we're going to get into, again, the Darren Erman hiring, assistant coach, and then we'll talk about some trade rumors that have floated around, but I don't take these rumors too serious, being that these are about getting a point guard who we're going to talk about, a couple of point guards, and being that we signed Elfrid Payton back, I don't take these rumors too serious. I take this as just nonsensical hearsay. So we'll get into that, and we're going to take our first break, quick little break, and then once we get back, I guess we'll dive right into it. But yeah, I'm still waiting for the fucking Yankees to do shit. To sign DJ. First of all, gotta sign DJ LeMahieu back. That's being, that's been going on forever. Didn't expect him to sign the qualifying offer again. That's a universal no from most star players. But I'm waiting for the legitimate offer to come. And it's kind of bothering me that it hasn't came yet. But nobody's really done anything in baseball. The market's been slow, obviously with COVID. So, that'll be that for the time being. But Jesus, can we just fucking sign DJ and then hopefully get another contact bat in that lineup? That'd be nice. Michael Brantley. And some fucking starting pitching would be good too, because after Garrett Cole, it is a giant fucking question mark. So fuck that. I'm not even going to get into that. As soon as I start talking Yankees, I somehow get more heated than I do with talking Knicks, and that shouldn't be. I know that, but I think it's more of an expectations thing. With the Knicks, you have an expectation of being dog shit, so nothing good's going to happen. But with the Yankees, you have these super high World Series standards. So I guess that's why it is. All right, let's head to break, and we'll get right into the swing of things when we get back. BRB. Just a quick reminder that if you haven't followed me on social media yet or subscribed to the blog or this podcast, just go to my website to do all that stuff at nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com/connect. All right, so excuse me. It's been fairly quiet. Again, there's nothing really spectacular going on or nothing crazy in terms of the Knicks and everything like that. But I do want to touch on a few things because, regardless of the noise, going to keep this pod going, man. I want to keep you guys updated with the news. For those of you who do listen in and watch and whatever and whatnot, thank you for it. And again, you're listening to BD4. We are on plenty of platforms. We are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. You can watch us on YouTube and so many more platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are likely there. So just go to my website, nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com/connect, and that'll take you to a page that displays all my information. So thank you for tuning in. And as for the Knicks, man, again, quiet, but I think it was yesterday. Or was it earlier today? My memory's all fogged up right now. But they hired Darren Erman, and I hope I'm saying that correctly, as an assistant coach. So I did a little research, read up about him, and it seems like it's another good hire. It seems like the Knicks are continuing to get guys from competently ran franchises, right, in that front office and in that coaching staff. So that's a plus. Now, Erman coached in the Boston G League this past season in 2020 for the Maine Red Claws. Before that, he was an assistant coach in New Orleans for the Pelicans for 4 years. If you go all the way back to 2008, he won his first championship with the Boston Celtics, and Tom Thibodeau was on that squad as an assistant as well. So I think that's probably why he's hired here. He's got connections with Tibbs, and so, the Knicks have made a lot of hirings like that, right, with connections, whether that be CAA ties or Kentucky ties. Obviously, with Kenny Payne, they've got a bunch of guys from Kentucky on the squad now, too, players. So, yeah, he's Darren Erman, and he looks like he's going to be something, that has someone that has a defensive mindset. From what I hear, he's more of a defensive guru. So that would help with obviously the front court: Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, guys who struggle defensively. Mitch with the discipline at times. Toppin, all day defensively. And Barrett, though he showed flashes of being a decent defender, was still negative when you look at the defensive metrics, or you just watch him. He wasn't great defensively last season either. So hopefully he could help there. And that's that with Darren Erman. I hope I say that right. But that's really the only thing that's gone on lately. But there is, a rumor. It's more just like I've been reading a couple of blogs. Fucking shit. I've been reading a couple of blogs and it's more just like I guess suggestions of what the Knicks should do as opposed to rumors. So my fucking voice. I've never fucking had voice cracks that bad. That was a bad one. My voice cracks a ton. I don't care. But that shit was fucking awful. Anywho, lost my train of thought because of that shit. It was fucking pathetic. Alright, yeah, so there's been a rumor that the Knicks, again, not really a rumor, but just some suggestions that I've read from a couple of blogs and stuff like that, but I've heard people talking about it too all over, that the Knicks should trade for a point guard. Now, the point guard situation, I think they're done with it for now. I think what they did signing Randall back is the end. I think that's the reason they signed. I said Randall, didn't I? Payton. I think the reason they re-signed Elfrid Payton to a new deal was so he can be their point guard in 2020. So I'm expecting him to be there as the starter, and I'm expecting DSJ and Frank to be the two backups for the time being. So I don't expect the Knicks to make any trades. So really what we're about to get into is kind of pointless if you side with me that you don't expect them to make any more deals. But again, for the sake of being bored and for the sake of just finding something to talk about, we're going to get into it. So Eric Bledsoe, New Orleans, just traded to New Orleans. He was fucking with Milwaukee for a while, and he had a good, run there, but they just swung a deal for him. So maybe you're thinking the Pelicans, with the crowded backcourt, they just drafted Lewis Jr., who obviously they're looking for him to make an impact at the point guard position because he's too small to play shooting guard. And again, you drafted him in the lottery. He's obviously expected to be a big part of your future. So you have Lewis Jr., you have Bledsoe, you have Lonzo Ball, you have Josh Hart, and you have JJ Redick. Okay, so you've got a couple of guys in the backcourt. So maybe they're looking to clear some roster spots and kind of get Bledsoe's contract out of there because they're looking to spend in the future. Try to clear some cap. And I know they just inked Ingram to a major extension. He's signed there for 5 years, and he's going to be paid $158 million for the next 5 years. That's like an AAV of $32 million. So that's a chunky deal. But you look forward, and you've got Lonzo Ball and I think Josh Hart also eligible for extension next season. And then the season after that is when Zion Williamson is eligible. So you're expecting, the Pelicans, if they want to retain these guys, to spend big. So right now they might be, David Griffin might be looking to, again, shed some payroll and fucking, maybe he could swing a deal, send Bledsoe to the Knicks, and we'll see what happens, right? For the Knicks, it's a stopgap move, right? But again, it's better than Payton. It makes the Knicks competitive for the time being until you figure out what you want to do long term at the point guard position. He's a veteran with experience. He's been around the game. He knows the game well. He can play the point guard. And unlike Westbrook, who has obviously also been in rumors, somebody like Bledsoe won't overhaul your roster, or he won't cause you to use all your finances and limit you financially. His deal is, I think he's got 3 years left on it, being paid under $17 million in 2021, 18 in 2022, and only 4 of the $19 million in 2023 is guaranteed, which he'll be 33 by the end of that contract. So it's not the worst contract to pay for. The Knicks would have to match salaries and make this thing work, obviously, but if the Pelicans want to shed some payroll and if the Knicks are willing to take on that contract, maybe they send us Bledsoe and we send them, one of our many, many picks that we have now, which has been smart, what Leon Rose has been doing. Maybe we send him a Dallas pick, one of the first round picks, or maybe 2 of our 2023 picks, plus a young player, right, like a Knox or a DSJ, I don't know. But, David Griffin does like his draft picks. He's been stockpiling just like we've been. So maybe it's something we can work out. And Bledsoe, again, he's a good all-around point guard, good player. And Tibbs alluded to this earlier in the offseason, talking about how he likes those kind of all-around point guards. So maybe there's something here. He averaged 15, 5, and 6. Bledsoe did in 2020. So he's a pretty decent offensive player and decent defensive player as well, because he's got the strength to handle the smaller wings. So he can slide all the way up to the 3 and occasionally play there. Capable shooter, better than what the Knicks have. Again, he's not special, okay? He's more middle of the road signing than anything, but he's better than better shooting than Payton, better shooting than DSJ, right? 33 to 35% from deep. That's usually where he hovers year to year, about 4 attempts, give or take, a game. So that's much better than what we're getting from Elfrid Payton, 20%, from DSJ, 20-something percent, from Frank, 31, 32%. Much better than all 3 of them. So you're getting a guy who's capable of hitting it downtown, fucking from downtown. There's another one. You're getting a guy who's capable of shooting, getting to the rim, finishing at the rim, and a very good drive and kick point guard as well. So Again, offense, defense, veteran experience, not going to cost you too much. It's an idea. It's an idea, okay? So that's as far as Eric Bledsoe goes. There's one more player we're going to get into. More unrealistic than anything, but it's worth talking about, and we'll get to him as soon as we get back from break. Be right back. Hey guys, just a quick reminder that if you haven't followed me on social media yet or subscribed to the blog or this podcast, just go to my website to do all that stuff at nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com/connect. All right, so speaking of New Orleans Pelicans, and speaking of point guards and point guards that would be much better than the Knicks point guards, we're going to stay there, and we're going to talk about another Pelican, and Lonzo Ball. Again, that's more unrealistic than anything, especially considering that the Knicks are likely to stay put here and go with Elfrid Payton for 21. But in this fantasy world where they want a point guard, Lonzo Ball, if they really wanted to, if both sides wanted to, I think they could make something happen. He's obviously more expensive than a Bledsoe, but I still think he's affordable. He hasn't reached those hefty expectations yet as a top pick. So I would think, again, DSJ, maybe a Knox, plus, a couple of picks. Your first round pick from Dallas and at least one of your 2023 picks. That would probably do it. A little more than what you would pay for Bledsoe. But Lonzo's still on his rookie deal, so he's not going to be paid a lot until he's eligible for extension again after this next season. So it's an idea. He's obviously a big name in terms of the brand and everything, but if we're just talking straight up basketball, he can play. He has not even came close to those Jason Kidd 2.0 expectations, to those Magic Johnson expectations that everybody wants to compare him to. But he's still been of that type. He still has the play style where playmaking is the kid's forte. He's an excellent playmaker who finds everybody on the court. He will find everybody on that court. He's not like Peyton, where Peyton's got, I call it Randall vision, not even tunnel vision. He's got Randall vision. A guy like Ball is going to get everybody involved. He's a legitimate quarterback, and he knows how to get the team involved. He's also a great lob thrower. He can throw that outlet pass. He can throw the lob pass, and that's going to be great for Mitch, for Obi, and players like that. So a good passer gets everybody involved and gets his teammates open constantly. His head is always up. Got a smart, high IQ, anticipating open spaces on the floor before spaces even open up. Just very smart, and he's great in transition. After crashing the glass, he can run the transition, run the break very well, and make those outlet passes. And he's also good in the half court as a catch and shoot wing type of player. So he can be used as a spot up wing when you're playing half court ball too. So he's a good two-way point guard. Fun fact: he's one of 4 players in history to average 6 rebounds and 6 assists in his first season. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, he's a good offensive player and a pretty good defensive player too. He's got defensive skills. I would like to rate him as above average defensively for sure. He's a plus rebounder. He's got sneaky athleticism. Nothing crazy, but he has some. And steadily improving. Most importantly, he's steadily improving as a shooter. Right. In his rookie season, he was 31% on 5.7 attempts. Nothing crazy bad, but he did get improvement in his sophomore season, shooting 33 on 4.9. But then this past season, he made the big fucking jump, right? The jump that made you a little bit more confident, shooting 38% on 6.3 attempts. So career high in volume, career high in percentage. So you like that. You like when you increase in both volume and efficiency, right? That's always a great sign. What's not a great sign is he's still not a good free throw shooter. He had a career high this past season, but that was 57%. So that's the biggest flaw. It still makes you think, is he going to be a good shooter? But again, I still think he can be a better shooter than an Elfrid Payton. That's really bottom of the barrel right there. Than a DSJ, whose jumper is broken right now and is getting it fixed for the second time this offseason. Second time in 2 years. So I still think, the shooting numbers, although they don't stand out at you, are still going to be significantly better than a Payton, DSJ, and Frank rotation. He's a young kid, man. He's 23 years old, so obviously he'd be, your future guy if he does reach your ceiling. He's not a stopgap. If you're getting Alonzo, you're hoping to wrap him up to lock him up if he fucking pans out and reaches that ceiling. He's exciting. He would bring some excitement to the Garden along with Toppin and Mitch and the other young Knicks. I think it'd be good. There's obviously the Ball family drama, the Kardashians of basketball, blah, blah, blah. But again, we're talking straight basketball here. He's much fucking better at the point guard position than any of the point guards the Knicks currently possess. So I don't see why it's a bad idea. I really don't. Do I think it's going to happen? Nope. Do I think any trades for a point guard from the Knicks right now are going to happen? No. I don't. But again, while we're on the subject, Lonzo Ball in a fantasy world is somebody I would not mind trading for. The Knicks have the draft capital. The Knicks have a couple of prospects that can involve in the deal. They have the cash. They can do it. And it would make them significantly better today than they were yesterday. So that being said, we're going to head to break one last time, and we'll wrap this one up with the NYK question of the day. Be right back. Hey guys, just a quick reminder that if you haven't followed me on social media yet or subscribed to the blog or this podcast, just go to my website to do all that stuff at nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com/connect. All right, so that's pretty much that, guys. Again, to recap really quick, Knicks signed not Walt Perrin. Knicks hire fucking Darren Erman as an assistant. Comes from a couple of organizations, but has a championship ring and has connections with Tom Thibodeau back when he was with Boston, winning that ring. Most recently came out of Boston's G League system and is known as a defensive guru. And also we discussed the Knicks hopefully trading for a point guard, but I don't think that's going to happen. But we did discuss Bledsoe, we touched on Lonzo Ball, and that was pretty much that. So let's get to our question of the day. Yeah, so last time out in episode 183, I asked you guys how many fucking can't talk, dude. I'm always doing this shit. How many current Kentucky guys? I try to jump ahead when I'm reading at the same time. How many current Kentucky guys are on the Knicks roster? How many? See, I'm fucking slur. How many Kentucky guys are currently on the Knicks roster? That was the question for last time. That was our NYK question of the day. The answer to that question, how many Kentucky guys are currently on the Knicks roster? 4. You've got 4 Kentucky guys right now. You've got Kevin Knox, Julius Randle, Emmanuel Quickley, and Nerlens Noel. So 4. And then if you add Kenny Payne, he was back. He was with Kentucky before, earlier in his coaching career. So 4 players for the Knicks went to Kentucky. Kentucky's a fucking big school, man. It's a good school. You hope that one of these 4 picks can turn out good for us, but we'll see. Or not picks. Knox and Quickly were picks, but obviously Randall and Nerlens Noel trades. But our NYK question of the day for episode 184: which Knick was named All-NBA the most in franchise history? All right, pretty simple. Which Knick was named All-NBA the most in franchise history? So message me the answer or comment on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and let me know what you think. Fucking that's it, guys. Episode 184 is in the books. That's pretty much all we've got for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Not much, again, pretty boring episode. Not really loaded with any new information. Just a couple of opinionated, opinionated takes, and then one recent hiring, and that was it. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has a good rest of their day. While you're listening to this, it should be a Wednesday, and I hope you have a good fucking Thanksgiving, man. I hope you all have a blessed Thanksgiving. No, seriously. Hope everybody has a good one. Stay safe. Do what you want. Go live your life. Don't let anybody control you, and but stay safe at the same time, and obviously take your precautions. So, God bless you all. Thank you, and I'll see you next time out. All right, ciao. This podcast is sponsored by Anchor.